the fact that they can play cool comps around it, like the Kindred Twitch, gets them a little bit more excited.
And they're going to lock that one in. So LMG will have the Kindred to play with today in the jungle. He's been a very strong, competent jungler for the RNG lineup. Played pretty well during Spring Split, represented really well at MSI, and now trying to do the exact same thing during Summer Split of the LPL here. I may now have the chance to pick up 2 champions of their own and taking their time to decide what they're going to be throwing up against RNG here.
But if they do pick up something like the Azir and Maokai, that just gives them so much teamfight prowess. I mean, they can go towards their Sivir Bard like they like to in the bottom lane, just play for the lane swap, and that's going to open up the map nicely. So right now, you'd have to say that I'm almost getting the better of this pick ban phase, and once again, I'm going to say it's because of a strange priority placed on the Kindred. MLX3 plays a fantastic Graves in Italy. There's no reason that he should feel like he has to prioritize that marksman jungler.
He's had a fairly diverse champion pool here, MLX. She's played 5 unique champions so far in the jungle and the Summer Split of the LPL, whereas I may, only 3, no Kindred even being picked up so far.
Ooh. And another pick. I really did like the fact that you pointed out Jin Zhao's Sivir, just because a lot of the playmaking ability does come from the bottom lane of Ime. I think that, along with their jungler, Jin Zhao and Road are very much responsible, and they go with a Lucian pickup here, which is a little bit strange because I do agree that, Sivir seems to come up huge for this team time and time again.
And they did lock in the Azir as well, so they took it away from RNG. So they will not be allowing Xiaohu to pick that one up as his mid laner of choice. And it also is a champion that we have seen being played by MA from their multiple mid laners. In fact, they were able to pick up their win, a single victory against Vici using that champion. And RNG look content in locking Ezreal and Karma, one of the stronger bottom lanes that we see being thrown out at the moment. In fact, quite a few bans being thrown out towards Karma recently.
Yeah, and the reason that Karma is kind of cool at the moment is that she helps out your wave clear very nicely in the bottom lane, especially with an Ezreal. Sometimes you get shoved in, that tendency to have to farm up underneath your turret. Karma nullifies a lot of that. AoE speed up is always nice. One of the better users of wind speakers, I always talk about it. If you can get wind speakers across 5 members, it is one of the most gold efficient keystone masteries in the game. So I just think that Karma right now, not to mention the fact that she can be a swing in certain compositions, you can put her mid lane still, it's just showing that she's a dominant support.
Meanwhile, we look at the flip side of IMA. They're still waiting to pick up their next 2 champions. Still missing a top laner support and a mid laner, it seems. Oh, sorry, top laner support and a jungler. And like we mentioned earlier, Nidalee was still left up on the table, so that's probably going to be the lock-in coming in from the IMA lineup, as well as Braum as their support champion of choice, leaving their final pick for Amazing J up in the top lane. RNG do have a chance to respond as well, waiting to pick up their own solo laners. Have not shown who Lupa or Xiao who are going to be playing coming into this game.
And you're seeing the versatility of Lupa just through what he's hovering. I mean, he was one of the last remaining Quinn players. He's hovering Singe now. Shen has seen a little bit of international play. NALCS, I think, picked up Shen the other day. Maokai is still one of the most dominant solo tanks in the game. I mean, you already saw him go past the Fizz, which is a little bit more carry flavor to it. Echo is banned away, but he also plays that. So Lupa really does play everything at the moment.
And he's going to be picking up Maokai here, his most played champion. So this will be his 4th game on Maokai in this split of the LPL, whereas wouldn't be too surprised if we saw an Echo pick here, but that was actually being banned out by RNG earlier on, as it is the most played champion for Amazing J in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm expecting a Fizz pick up out of Amazing J here, see if he can get a little bit more carry-oriented, open up a 1-4, because right now when you have a look at it, I mean, they're currently hovering the teleport on LeBlanc, so that means that LeBlanc is probably going to be the one to the later stages of the game, is setting up for 1-3-1, trying to assassinate either the AD carry or Azir in the side lane. We already saw it with WE once today, that is the pressure of running a Azir in the mid lane. You can't take teleport with it. It just doesn't have that 1-3-1 pressure. That was against a Victor. So I think that, right now, definitely a draft that RNG would look at and be incredibly comfortable with.
And it seems like IMA are going to lock in the Nautilus pick, something they've been flexing a few times as their support, and top laner. And they're going to be playing it one more time for Amazing J up into the top lane.
And don't get me wrong, Nort still has so many cool tank stats, so he really is a good solo tank as well. On the same vein as Maokai, hard to bully out once he's picked up a couple of components to his items, and just his kit is riddled in CC in places that you don't normally find it, even on the auto attacks there. So once again, great late game damage, you know, middle range composition, apart from maybe Baimi here for Aime. Everyone's actually quite low range, so we'll see who's able to make it work.
Seems like both teams really want to fight here as we move towards the mid and late games. You know, tanks up top, carries in the jungle, a control versus an assassin mid lane.
And
both
I was
ADK support's really aggressive.
Last game is like about WE versus Vici. They're probably the two closest teams we actually have to like cerebral or well thought out teams. RNG and IMA are not cerebral or well thought out teams, Fish. These guys pick team fighting compositions. They're going to try and do that from minute one in this game.
And we've seen IMA be that very scrappy, counteractive, sorry, not intuitive, team fighting team. RNG a little bit more clinical, but very precise with their execution when it comes to team fights. But we're going to load onto Summoners for game number 1 to see how this one's going to pan out. And the champions have loaded onto the rift here. All 10 summoners are ready and up and ready. That's a lot of readies for the first match of the game. First match of this best of 3 series between RNG and IMA.
More readies than players on Summoner's Rift right there, Fish. So you're off to a great start. But
fantastic start. I don't like this chair. As we are going to take a quick look at the Keystone Mastery, but before that, Uzi actually going to get tagged up here, forced to flash at level 1.
Yeah, it already skilled, so it looked like he had the Q, so wasn't able to get anything done there. That's actually the RNG invade, where the Braum loops around up underneath, gets a clean shot of the chair from the brush. Uzi should know about that, because Mato was pretty much the one that popularized that in the final versus EDG, I believe.
Instead, Road and Jinjiao already making their mark onto this bottom lane, trying to stun up Uzi. We're able to force that flash, which means Summoner is down for the RNG lineup down in the bottom lane. We are still going to see standard lanes come out from these two teams, and we did take a quick look at the Keystone Masteries. Nothing too surprising coming out from the two lineups.
The one thing that is kind of surprising is the fact that Xiaohu has taken the teleport. We saw at MSI that against LeBlanc's, he actually had a little bit more of a favor to go towards the Ignite to make sure that he could run that kill lane. Not going with it means that he has much better pressure ladder on. And, you know, don't get me wrong, LeBlanc still has kill threat on pretty much anyone on IMA's lineup, apart from maybe Amazing J and Road. But it's just a little bit of a difference in Xiaohu's playstyle. He is proving that he is that versatile mid laner that we knew he could be.
Well, let's see how he's going to be able to use the teleport here on the Rift. Samuel actually takes his blue buff down here. We've got a little bit of help for the Gromp camps, and it is still standard lanes coming into this matchup. And Xiaohu now in the mid lane takes a little bit of damage here from the Azir. And Jinjiao already taking some hurt from Mata down the bottom lane. Still, Uzi and Mata being rather aggressive here against the Lucian Braum, despite losing their summoner spell at level 1.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to be. I mean, it's double range versus range and melee, so Jinjiao and Road are going to be an inherent disadvantage just because Road isn't able to get up in their face. However, in saying that, one mistake is all it takes out of the RNG bottom lane right now, and Uzi will die just because he hasn't got that summoner. So he still has to respect the power that will come out of IMA's bottom lane.
And IMA actually doing a pretty decent job themselves, taking a lot of poke from this Azrael Karma lane, but still able to push it towards RNG's start of the map. Xiaohu and Baimi here in the mid lane, just farming it up for now. No major advantage here or there. The wave is pushing on towards Baimi's side of the map. But nothing actually taking place between these two teams just yet.
You can see that Voidless actually wants to go deep for a little bit of a ward. Both of these junglers clear very healthy and very quickly, so there's not really much point in going for invades unless you can catch them on major buffs. You can see that they've cleared those out for now. And it looks like, you know, MLXG been studying SOFM a little bit. Wants to get towards the top side of the camp just as the Krogs are respawning.
And we'll be able to take those Krogs down. In fact, put a ward on over towards the Raptor camp. So we'll be able to see a Voidless if he comes in through the jungle here.
And this seems to be a really popular invade at the moment. You know, clear your bottom side of the rift, then just head straight to the top, start taking away golden resources. It means that you can't really help your top laner out as much because now a Voidless has nothing to do up there.
You see Mima on the bottom lane. Mata actually getting stunned up here by Road and Jinjiao. Exhaust being forced on towards the Lucian. Uzi trying to be as aggressive as possible. He himself is going to get stunned down. There's that final piercing light coming out to take him down to below half health.
This is Xiaohu.
It's being channeled. Xiaohu's trying to get in down here. Doesn't land the chain on towards Road, who just hops his way out and flashes out of the danger zone.
So in the end, they actually have to burn a teleport RNG to get into the bottom lane. Xiaohu didn't want to 100% commit to that. Otherwise would have flashed after Road before he throws out the chain. But all of a sudden, you know, we mentioned it already that we expect the double range to go in the favor of RNG, but that's a big cooldown expended to keep their duo alive.
And this is the lane to watch, you know. IMA very famous for their playmaking bottom lane. Jinjiao and Road are normally the pillars of their team, but they're up against Uzi Mata. So far, so good, though. Thought I may line up despite the fact that they're a little bit down in terms of CS right now, and that's not going to matter.
Teleport now behind RNG's bottom line.
As they're looking for another teleport being channeled here. So Amazing J flashes on top of Uzi. He's trying to do what he can, but he can't as first blood actually falls on over towards Amazing J, and another kill will fall for a Voidless. IMA put themselves onto the scoreboard very early.
Yeah, really nice play out of IMA. They knew that they already had one teleport down. New jungler wasn't on that side of the map. Voidless there for the counter gank. Able to get the teleport in nice and deep, and we already said that Nautilus, Maokai, they do a similar thing. If you can ever get that deep ward as the wave's bouncing back, it's going to mean great things. So, you know, 2 early kills go across the IMA, and they want to be that proactive early game team. We've already said that. RNG kind of playing into their hands.
That's a fantastic start from IMA. You know, middle of the pack team. RNG still the favorites coming into this match, the more veteran team, the one that's represented the LPL and MSI. I may definitely need as many early advantages as they can find here on Summoner's Rift, and they've already found a couple down in the bottom lane. The kills went over towards Amazing J and a Voidless, so the amount of experience that Norses would have lost up would be recuperated.
Yeah, definitely, and this is a good thing, right? This is something that Snake used to do. Now what you're doing is you're waiting for that teleport cooldown to come back. Then you can transition more of that advantage back down into the bottom lane. So IMA, even though their duo didn't get it, they're already a naturally stronger lane just because they don't have to itemize towards the mana stats. So, good news story so far for Jinjiao and Road.
Road was actually taking a little trip up towards the top side of the map there, so Jinjiao is going to be alone down on the bottom side of the map. We have to see if Uzi and Mata can bully him out a little bit more. For now, though, Xiaohu still trying to farm it out here against Baimi, who is up in CS slightly. But if Xiaohu farms this, he should be able to catch up. So there's about a wave behind at the moment. Or just under a wave.
And that's a teleport gank, right? The fact that he had to go into the bottom lane so early to try and save Uzi and Mata didn't really make much of a difference in the end as they got teleported on with a jungle gank. But Xiaohu did sacrifice a lot of his early laning pressure to get down there and try and help his duo out.
We saw Lupa wanted to teleport down as well, cancel it as soon as he saw things were going sour in the bottom lane. For now, though, slight CS advantage for Uzi. He's about 8 CS up ahead of Jinjiao. But they still got the 2 kills in the bottom lane. Uzi's flash is back up and available.
And you see straight away Voidless using those jungle timers. He is waiting there as soon as it spawns, has a ward already over the wall, and he's going for it.
Unless she is here, though. The smite will come out from a Voidless. He's able to
got
pick
the
up the
slow.
blue buff. He's going to be able to slow the Nidalee down. But the Voidless should be able to get out here so far. Xiaohu actually going to try to come in and jump on top of the Nidalee. Gets the chains down. Will get back into human form. Trying to heal himself up. Now trying to go toe-to-toe against Xiaohu. But a good flash forward comes from Lupa. Throws down the slams. Able to take down Nidalee.
And we said it all the time. Just don't invade MLXG's jungle because RNG actually collapses a 5-man unit better than anyone. And Lupa's willing to burn the flash to be able to get over there and impact that side of the map. Really got to respect RNG. They protect their jungler MLXG. They allow him to go aggressive when he wants to, but also have his back when people come into his jungle. So that's a kill back into RNG's favor, and it's only 300 gold. The difference now.
On top of that, Xiao, who didn't lose any experience in that million, was able to pick up the wave just in time. And MLXG was able to just take the red buff away as soon as the team landed on that side of the map. So overall, advantages being picked up by the RNG lineup here. And looking good coming back into this game.
And don't get me wrong, against any other team, IMA would get away with that. I mean, there was a good 5 seconds window where a Voidless was able to take it, but the slow came out. And you already saw that Xiaohu, Lupa, they're just willing to burn so much to catch the Nidalee. Anyone else would have been like, yep, Nidalee's gone over the wall. Let's just let it go, you know, get a better grasp on our own jungle cooldowns. But RNG are pretty unrelenting in that situation.
For now, though, RNG's teleports are back up and available both for Looper and Xiaohu. Amazing Jays has come back online as well. So we can see some cross-map rotations coming out from the two solo lanes and the one of the IMA lineup. The Voidless for now is going to be invading deeper towards MLXG jungle. They're just clearing out a pink ward.
Yeah, he's not really intimidated, is he? He's, once again, back into that jungle, wants to be the proactive jungler. It's something that I've actually credited Voidless a lot over Midi. Midi likes the gank, but Voidless will get in, get his hands dirty, and get that deep vision down that the team needs.
And Xiaohu contributing to the vision game of his team as well. Puts a pink ward down the right side of mid lane.
Wants to be able to play towards that dragon buff.
It is the Mountain Dragon, so teams could potentially look to try and take or contest for this one soon. It's one of the more heavily prioritized buffs that we see in competitive play at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is, just especially if you have something like a Kindred on your team. Mountain Drake is just so good for those 20-minute Barons. Kindred Ezreal, no stranger of just hopping over a wall and being able to do that.
So you see Baimi taking a lot of damage in this mid lane. Chain's going to be put down by Xiaohu, but good trades back and forth from the two mid laners.
That was actually really lucky for Baimi. There was one creep that lived on about 10 health and meant that Xiaohu couldn't get the chain straight away. Had to kind of dance around it, got Thunderlord's proc back.
He would like to pick up.
Well, it doesn't really matter, right? You can continue to stack up the dragons if you control the buff. Still good for the burn damage on Eldar as the game goes later, and you still cycle through. So you want to pick it up as soon as possible still. And a Voidless is, once again, on the enemy side of the jungle, and it's just been spot out. This is what happens when you don't necessarily have river control. I mean, he thought that he had enough scuttle crabs on the bottom side of the map that it was really his area, but they hadn't had that pink ward coverage. They weren't really able to spot out where Uzi and Mata were collapsing to, and both of them were willing to burn summoner spells to get over that wall. It's just, I may need to pick their windows a little bit more. I guess they need to be a little bit more passive in the early game, I'm going to say. I never thought I'd say that about a Chinese team.
Well, they're a very scrappy team, as you can see. Avoda's still trying to do what he can to try and pressure this blue buff. Xiaohu is going to pick that one up after he teleported back into the mid lane there, so using his summoner to get back into the lane up against Baimi. For now, though, we can take a look at where things are currently at in terms of the laning phase. You know, top lane, rather even between these two teams. MLSG out-farming a Voidless at the moment. Mid lane slightly in favor of Baimi. I think a huge deficit, though, is showing in the bottom lane where Uzi, although he got ganked very early on, now has a kill and a little bit more CS than Jin Jiao in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he did get ganked early on, but I guess they've returned the favor a couple of times. I mean, he's had 2 teleports into his lane already, has Uzi. The worry is that they just play as their bottom lane as a win condition so successfully, RNG, and Xiaohu, MLXG, they're always going to be threats, but Looper more than willing to peel in this composition. And Uzi is already rolling on the Ezreal and keeping the Lucian down.
And he's already got his own in Boots of the City, as well as the tier stacking the Sheen and his pickups. So looking to complete his power spike as soon as possible. And pick up his Iceborne Gauntlet and Manamune. On the flip side, we can actually see Jin Jiao going towards the Korean Lucian build, picking up the Yomos Ghostblade into Black Cleaver. Has the components for the first item.
And it's strange because we don't normally see the Korean build if you're the sole AD carry. I like it in this situation, however, as he can kind of be the mid-game bridge as teleport coming into the bottom lane. Mata in trouble.
Going to use his ultimate on towards Mata. He gets locked down. Good two-shot barrage coming from Uzi. He's able to take down one. He traded for his support's life, but Amazing J's here as well. They're able to trade it back, though. 2 for 1.
Yeah, so a 2-for-1 trade, but at least RNG gets something out of this. See whether they stick around for the turret, because Looper's going to be putting on work on the top side of the map. Once again, a proactive play out of Aime gets them back to square, but a good heads-up play out of Uzi to at least be able to trade that back. Definitely not as bad as it could have been.
And they do actually stick around and take down the mid lane outer turret. So first turret of the game goes on over in favor of Aime. They're picking themselves up a nice gold lead as well, but RNG will be able to trade that one back as MLSG heads up to the top lane to help Looper out with pushing for the top lane outer turret on RNG's side of the map.
Yeah, so they get it back and they don't even bounce the wave. They push it through because they understand that probably a lane swap going to be coming out. They want to get as much gold onto Looper as possible. Look to maybe make a play on the Rift Herald.
We do actually see that lane swap coming out. Aime sending their AD carry and support up towards the top side of the map. For now, though, Amazing J is still on the top side. Not opting to go down to the bottom side of the map.
This
RNG,
is a
though,
very dangerous Ripper now, RNG.
want to try and take it, but they see the speed come up from a Voidless and immediately back off.
Well, it's the weak side of the map. They've already sent their duo lane up there. Top laner had stuck around as well, so there wasn't really much they could do if it did turn into a fight. So good call from MLXG as well as Lupa to get their heck out of dodge.
Xiaohu still being rather annoying here against Baby. Missed the chain, hits a minion instead. So gets a lot of damage down on towards this Azir.
And he's just unrelenting, Xiaohu. Has started to fall down slightly in CS as the Azir is starting to ramp up, but you can see not really all too concerned with that.
Bottom lane auto turret going to get taken down by RNG. Uzi and Mata were left alone in that lane for some time. Up at the top lane there,
They're going quicker as well. Like, they can continue to push through here. There's no response out of anyone. And it looks like RNG might even be able to grab some damage into the mid lane turret. This is just fantastic play. In fact, they're all collapsing there.
Moving everybody towards that mid lane. IMA side, 3 people are pushing up in the top side of the map, looking to try and take down the top lane inner turret. This mid lane turret is fallen. RNG going to be able to take that one down.
Yeah, and I don't actually think they can get the outer because all of a sudden you have a Karma rotating to that bottom top side of the map already. Lupa is on his way there, so that's just, once again, heads up play, you know, breaking open the middle part of the map, especially against someone like an Azir where you can start getting those deep teleport wards looking for the flank on your LeBlanc, on your Maokai. It's going to certainly favor RNG at this stage of the game.
Definitely, especially when all the outer turrets have been taken down here. And both the teleports on the side of RNG are back up and available. IMA still waiting for their only teleport on the side of Amazing J to come back up and online. But now that gives us some time to take a look at the items that have been picked up. We can see Xiaohu has picked up his Morellonomicon. Has the Negatron Cloak as well. On the flip side, Baimi, he's got his Abyssal Scepter, trying to reduce some of that damage from the Assassin. Top lane is just picking up tanky items. We see the Sunfire Cape coming out from Amazing J. Lupa's got the Spirit Resurge and the Balmy Cinder stacking there as well.
And LeBlanc was really one of the big benefactors of the mid-season Magic changes that happened with items specifically. Because Morellonomicon a little bit more expensive now, but it gives 100 AP. So now all of a sudden, Morellonomicon cooldown boots as well as Abyssal Scepter is just an important core. Also gives her that cooldown that she needs on her flash to make the aggressive plays. So I really do think that she is the best assassin in the current meta.
RNG, you can see MLG now trying to give a Voidless a taste of his own medicine as he invades deep into his jungle, takes down the Gromp. Amazing J though.
They really have done a good job of tracking out that blue buff.
They see the MLGs on the bottom side of the map. They send the Nautilus and the mid lane to go pick up the blue buff for themselves, and another Cloud Dragon is going to spawn as RNG take the second Dragon buff of the game.
So maybe not the RNG that they wanted this time around, but they will still be able to grab a third Dragon in 6 minutes because it looks like they're still in firm control of the bottom side of the map.
And they've got a big power spike as well with, you know, Ezreal picking up the Iceborne Gauntlet and Manamune there. So good items coming out from the RNG lineup. It's their time to shine now as they return the favour to IMA and are able to counter away the blue buff here, give it on over to Xiaohu.
Yeah, that's important for Xiaohu to have it. And you see with the teleport up, they're willing to send him towards the bottom side of the map, pressure this duo, send Lupa up there to just butt heads with Amazing J on the Nautilus. No one's going to really win that, but now it's about the 3-man group, and this is why I love Karma in the support position right now, because normally you would be like, Kindred, Ezreal, that 3-man unit is going to lack wave clear. There's easy siege potential for a Voidless and Baimi to be able to push into that. But with the Karma, with the Qs as well as the empowered Q, she's going to be so hard to push down that turret. Uzi's going to be spamming out those Mystic shots. And as you can see, they're not even trying to pressure it right now. They're just happy to let the farm come to them, continue to scale up.
That's exactly what they want to do for now. I think both teams will be rather content with just farming up as much as possible here. No objectives currently on the map, but Baron will be coming up in 20 seconds.
This is probably the other reason I don't feel confident pushing up. You see that they've just taken the Wolf Spirit, but there was a ward in the Wolf Pit. There's a pink ward right there that you can see on your screen. If ever they try and siege into this mid lane turret without successfully reclaiming vision over their jungle, they're just going to get double TP'd on and collapsed. Really is a hard situation for the young team to be stuck in. So instead, they're just going to be relegated to wave clearing and trying to slow down the inevitable onslaught that's going to come out of Xiaohu, that's going to come out of Lupa as they hit the 2-3 item mark.
You can already see Xiaohu trying to do what he can to split push here down in the bottom lane. Actually saw Lupa doing the exact same thing on his Malcolm. Seems like they want to swap positions.
Yeah, of course they do, because the Lucian moves away from the assassin LeBlanc, so straight away, Lupa recalls, gets into the bottom lane. Give me the tank. I'll be able to go 1v1 with him. You go back towards the top side of the map where you have kill pressure, where you can continue to shut down Jin Jiao's farm. And we'll just jockey for position from there. And you can see that straight away, he doesn't even recall. He just makes a beeline towards that top side of the map.
And speaking of Jin Jiao's farm, he's actually 40 CS down behind Uzi at the moment. So a big deficit between those two AD carries. He did pick up his 2 major items though. Does have the Yomu's Ghostblade and Black Cleaver completed on Lucian.
Yeah, Uzi's got tier 2 boots and a recurve bow over him at the moment though. You can see it's just because Azir doesn't currently have kill threat on the Ezreal. Very hard to kill Ezreal as Azir. Whereas, I mean, the LeBlanc into Lucian, that's just a sitting duck unless Jin Jiao gets a jump on him.
He does have the benefit of having Road up in his top lane as well, so Brom going to be able to help him out a little bit. Question is how much. The Xiaohu just tags up the Brom. Still threatening to go up against this AD carry.
And you can see that actually brought 3 members towards Xiaohu's lane. They really do want to be able to secure this farm onto Jin Jiao. Not really much of a response coming out of the RNG squad. I mean, they've still got another 3 minutes or so until the Dragon will be back available for the taking. So until then, they're just more than content to farm up and continue their 1-3-1.
That seems like exactly what they're going to continue to do. And Xiaohu actually being very aggressive there against 2 players inside of the IMA lineup. Voiles looking to try and tag Mata with a spear. Voiles dashing in very aggressively forward, forced to flash away there.
Yeah, and that's another mistake out of a Voidless. I mean, we've been talking about it all game. He goes for the blue buff invade. He gets repelled, gets killed. Goes for the gank on the bottom lane. Gets repelled, gets killed. All of a sudden, he's like, I can control my area of the jungle. Unfortunately, mate, you don't have the 3 stronger man unit in the mid lane. Earlier rotation was already there from Uzi, and he's forced to burn another summoner spell. Just sets the game pace behind for IMA, who, you know, they're only 1,500 gold behind, but will start to stack up as they continue to lose control over this map.
And we see Emilishi able to pick another mark up for himself as he takes the Grompa camp away one more time. RNG have a small gold lead for themselves in control of the map with Dragon spawning in a minute 30. They definitely want to try and keep this control over Summoner's Rift.
Teleport actually coming in nice and deep here.
They're looking for it. Remember, Voiles doesn't have a flash anymore. Xiaohu's going to be able to find him. Gets the chains down. Actually, might not even need it as the True Shot Barrage will take the kill away from Xiaohu. They're able to take down a Voidless.
Yeah, really nicely done. I mean, they knew that they didn't have the teleport. Once again, just collapsing and a Voidless. This was the danger. When you push up and you haven't done the due diligence, you haven't swept out your own jungle, you do get collapsed on much more quickly. That's another 20 seconds still without their jungler. I don't know if they want to, but there is a potential right now for RNG to be able to start this one up.
For now, MLXG looking to try and take away the red buff. Instead, IMA going to try and collapse and stop him, but they don't have the smite here. Fail smite actually coming out there a little bit too early. Not going to pick up the red buff for himself. Instead, Jin Jiao takes it there.
Yeah, he gets a little bit trigger happy, so, you know, Jin Jiao able to pick that up. It's a small win for IMA. But the continued pressure is here. You can see that Uzi's just going to continue to farm up a Storm. As you mentioned, 40 CS in the lead right now. We'll go back and probably finish up his Bork. And they are fight ready at 23 minutes into the game. We said it's a 3-item comp. Pretty much everyone's on the way to their 3rd item right now for RNG.
And it's perfect timing as well. Dragon's coming up in the next 6 seconds, so you can already see RNG and IMA both trying to put some pressure towards the bottom side of the map. Let's get control over the pit, as Dragon does now finally respawn. It is a Cloud Dragon. And RNG have taken both of the Dragons that have spawned in this game so far.
So IMA needs to get one just in case this game goes to the 35-40 minute mark where Elder Dragon becomes all of that more important. The burden damage is pretty much overlooked to the latter stages. I mean, you get 45 burn damage every single time you pick up a Dragon, so 3 of them certainly going to be a good thing.
And we just took a look at the gold there. You can see everyone's ahead except for the mid laner on top on the side of RNG. But the fight is actually going to break out as MSG does get locked down and stunned up by the Brom there. Hasn't used his ultimate just yet. Doesn't have to though, as Lupa takes up so much damage. Xiaohu going to try and lock down Amazing J. The tank is going to fall down for the side of Aime, and the rest of their team, low on health, has to run away.
Yeah, the collapse is just there. And look how well prepped all of the minion waves are, because RNG have had control of the 1-3-1 the whole game. So all of a sudden, it's not a Dragon that they're looking at. Xiaohu goes towards that bottom lane. I mean, mid lane's already there. they're going to be able to pick up a couple of turrets and a dragon just for the top laner falling down on the side of Ime.
And just 1 kill is all it takes for RG to break open a huge gold deficit. It's already at 4,000 gold, and another turret is going to fall down, bring it up to, I think, 5,000 gold when this one eventually does fall. But for now, Ime are able to defend it successfully.
Yeah, so they actually keep that one alive, and you're right, that would have been pretty much the stranglehold accomplished out of the RNG lineup, because one pick and they're able to take everything away. Really is impressive to just watch our RNG play at the moment. Very nicely done, collapsing onto Amazing J. I mean, Ime thought they had the pick onto MLXG. He's able to successfully back away without even using the ultimate.
We can already see the two differences in play styles here. RNG very clinical, very precise with their execution. They know what to do from the start of the game. Ime a little bit more scrappy. Avolas trying to go and invade a little bit too much. You know, counter teleports coming out, counter ganks coming out, which backfire occasionally. They're trying to find those counter team fights that don't quite work out as well. And RNG, you know, just showing, not so much proving, but showing why they're the top team in their group at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. They're a classy team in the LPL, and I really do think that there still is a ways to go for Ime. I mean, they are going blow for blow right now. It's 26 minutes in. They're only 4,000 gold behind. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination, especially if they can generate a pick. But they do need to make sure that they do staunch the bleeding, because, once again, RNG just go back into their 1-3-1. Teleports will be available very soon because they prioritize cooldown reduction boots on Xiaohu. And they're just running out of answers. You
know, you did say this is a 3-item team comp coming out from RNG, and everybody has those 3 items. But Road, he's going to face check a Brushu to take a lot of damage as Uzi is able to take him down. Another pick coming out from the RNG lineup.
Yeah, and this time it's actually not even in the 1-3-1. It's just because Road face checks the Baron pit because of how much damage will come out of this Kindred as well as the Ezreal, and they only need the Karma shields there. So you can't really blame the support player. But you can see that as the game gets a little bit more high pressure, they start to panic. Now Voidless.
They're already looking to try and take down this Baron. Meanwhile, Xiaohu, quick fingers able to get him out of trouble there in Ime's side of the jungle.
Coming in.
This Baron is incredibly low, though. Voidless taking a lot of damage. Marta trying to go toe-to-toe against Jin Jiao. Baimy's going to be able to take down Marta, but at the cost of Jin Jiao's life. Amazing J's going to come in there, but the Baron has already been taken down by MXG, who pops his lance for Spike, keeping himself and Uzi alive. Uzi has to go over the wall. Voidless and Baimy trying to get in there. Xiaohu tries to find a flank. Good flashes come out from Ime, and the spear is not going to connect with MLXG. Amazing J, though.
How is MLXG still alive?
He's trying to dash out. He's not going to be able to, but it gives the team so much time to catch up. Amazing J is going to fall here. Uzi shifts on forward. They trade 4 for 2 and pick up the Baron.
And RNG are just dancing around Ime right now. You can see how easily they're making it look. I mean, they leave one person in the Baron pit to be able to do it. All right, let's have a look. So, in the end, they try and turn onto a Voidless because he's the smite. Looper goes over the wall with 1,000 health left. Uzi goes over the wall. MLXG understands he can grab it. He goes over the wall, pops the ultimate. Uzi's able to dance back in there. So already a very impressive set of events. But MLXG escapes on the smallest of health, dodges out of Braum, and then will dodge back out of Nautilus, all whilst Xiaohu goes massive on the back end of it. But really, hats off to MLXG and Uzi, who played the start of that team fight so incredibly well.
And Ime, one more time, looked half decent in the fight, but it's just the execution that was great coming out from RNG's lineup. You can see how much damage was dealt. Uzi puts on a show in terms of the damage dealt. Xiaohu definitely looked like the star in terms of the kills picked up. That's a lot of damage coming out from the Ezreal.
Yeah, it certainly is. As I said, Uzi and MLXG for me really did play the start of that team fight incredibly well.
It's also a little bit scary when Amazing J is the one dealing the most damage.
It happens with Nautilus every now and again. I mean, he just walks in amongst everyone, starts smashing the E, which is on such a low cooldown. So it does happen. I can understand that one. As you mentioned, it's not great, but you know, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, you'd be happy if you were Nautilus doing a lot of damage. It's just like that. Baimy has been poked out of the lane, has to run away from a true shot barrage that is being channeled. Not going to connect. Quick fingers coming out from Baimy to get away.
Like she just has the Maw popped as well. He's a little bit scared right now. He'll run away.
You can already see the items being picked up from the RNG lineup. Looper is a huge tank on that. Maokai, he has his Frozen Heart picked up. MLXG looking towards a Bloodthirster, it seems, on this Kindred.
Yeah, that's an interesting pickup there for Kindred. I mean, she is mid-range, and it is the offensive-defensive option.
We're going to see Xiaohu as well. He's picked up his Void Staff, so to complement the extra magic penetration he's going to get from the Abyssal Scepter, and has his first needlessly large rod here too. But Uzi, he's the star of the show right now. He's already picked up 4 completed items. The Blade of Ruin King and more of Malmortius has been picked up on this Ezreal, looking for his last Whispered, you have to think, as his final item of choice. That's a little bit scary when the 80k on the side of Aimee only has Yomi's Ghostblade, Black Cleaver, and the components for his Maw.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, Uzi right now, he's 50 CS up, as well as all those kills. Xiaohu nearly face checks the brush with 3 members in it. Will be able to dance away. Will, however, notify the rest of the lineup that they can go. Amazing J's back gets stopped as well. So this is probably the opening of the base right now from RNG.
And they're going to be able to take down this bottom lane inhibitor turret, and a teleport actually coming out straight away from Xiaohu to stop that minion from falling down, and also provides some extra support. Amazing J, his teleport's almost up, but has to go back to base in order to stop this, but it's not going to be fast enough. This inhibitor's going to go down. Xiaohu jumps on forward and dashes back out, gets that final auto attack, and the base has been broken for RNG.
Yeah, base broken, 31 minutes in. It is a 10,000 gold lead. Infernal Drake is up, so RNG are looking towards it. And really, I just don't know what there is left for Aimee to do. They are going to go for that desperation push down mid lane. But honestly, RNG can just kind of stall it out with 3 members. Look for a teleport out of Looper as well.
Meanwhile, we can already
so
see
many flanking wards. He's back in base. Here
Emoji,
they go, Baron Pit.
Emoji already picked up that Inferno Dragon. The turret has been put down there by Bamey, trying to deter the fight coming in. But RNG, they've got them surrounded and trapped here on the wrong side of the map. Uzi just trying to poke them out. This turret would eventually fall down. I'm going to have to try and find some way out of this.
This is literally fish in a barrel right now, Fish. They just cannot get out anywhere. Trying to kind of break it with a 5-man unit. Super Creeps are just streaming into their base whilst we speak. Looper's still looking for that flank.
And that's all RNG really need. Now they're actually getting collapsed on. There's no turret to save them here. Now they're on the right side of the map. RNG put a lot of damage on towards Amazing J. Looper get knocked out of the fight, coming in for Baby. Xiaohu actually gets taken down. I may find the pick they were looking for and somehow are able to escape that barrel.
So a little bit of impatience, because meanwhile, Super Creeps are actually on the base turrets. Not really all that much need to go for the play right then, but you know, RNG rush it, so I may get one back.
It was a cute play, but a good escape coming out from Aimee. So you can take a look at the Baron power play coming out from RNG. They pick up a 5,000 gold advantage after taking down the Baron buff.
And you know, credit to Bamey, who was able to shove Looper back onto the right side of the team and kind of do the do-si-do there. Otherwise, would have been in a little bit more trouble.
But for now, things are just going to reset. RNG, they are incredibly far ahead of Aimee at the moment. 10,000 gold lead, 7 turrets to 3. And this is already 33 minutes into this match. So Aimee, they need to do something quick and fast here if they want to try and get back into this game. There's a big gold lead they have to overcome if they want to start fighting RNG.
Yeah, it is a big gold lead, but I think that they're more than content, you know, just trying to stall this one out. They are the ones with a huge super tank in the Nautilus, as well as the Azir. I mean, Azir, the later this game goes, the more comfortable he is going to be. Meanwhile, you've got the likes of the LeBlanc that will slowly start to fall off. I mean, I don't think she falls off anywhere near to how much she used to, as a Voidless now maybe caught out.
Going to take a little bit of damage here and get slowed down on the Lily. But just going to be heal himself up and pounce out of that sticky situation.
Now it's MLXG that's being caught.
Jinja actually wants to try and take him down. True Shot Barrage does come out, puts a little bit of damage back down on towards Amazing J. MLXG has to use his ultimate there, trying to keep himself alive. The rest of the team trying to collapse on towards him, but Jinjao's going to fall down first. They do trade for the jungler. Good ultimate comes out from Baby to keep them back. But Uzi, he has been caught. They can't keep himself alive. Looper tries to get back in there, but Xiaohu jumps in with a big double kill pickup from the double distortion. Amazing J is going to get locked down. It might take some time, but this tank will eventually fall, and RNG find 4 more picks for the team.
Yeah, and that was nearly actually an instant triple kill, because Bamey lived on single-digit health as well. Just able to get out of there. Xiaohu is on an absolute mission this game. Now they turn their eyes towards the mid lane.
They're going to be able to take down this mid lane inhibitor turret and possibly the mid lane inhibitor as well, breaking the base of Aimee one more time here.
That was just really impressive. I mean, MLXG goes over the wall. We're about to see it. He actually challenges Jin Zhao to the duel. Says, I will tank you, mate. And is able to burst him out here at the very end. I mean, that's the benefit of playing a lot of Kindred, I guess. Able to take him down. But from here, when Uzi gets caught up, does look like the team fight is not going to go their way until, I guess, the LeBlanc flies in, nearly picks up the instant triple. Amy just escaping, and they do chunk out Amazing J. And as you said, they break the base for the second time. So RNG, one more time, coordination and team fight just looks that much better.
And that's to think if Amy fell down there with 10 health, or less than 10 health left remaining, that could have possibly been game coming in for RNG there. They've established a nice 10,000 gold lead for themselves. You can see the damage dealt in that fight. The carries on the side of RNG just putting in some work against Iron Man at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are, and really impressed by MLXG because, as I said, he kicked that off by pretty much challenging Jinjiao to the 1v1 and winning. So that's an impressive feat out of a jungler. Happy to see him playing confident League of Legends one more time. Voidless really not having the game that he would want right now.
It really feels like RNG are playing really confident as an entire team at the moment. Everybody performing the way they should be, the way they're expected to. Now, though, Baron has respawned. RNG definitely looking to try and take this one down. Speed
Big
up.
Flank.
Coming up from Marteta, trying to find the flank they're looking for one more time. Aimee caught on the wrong side of the map. Teleport being used by Amazing J to try and get into this fight. Looper has been caught out, takes half his health in terms of damage. Culling being put down on top of the Maokai as well. And RNG just rotate around, get onto the correct side of the map. Aimee's not stopping with this push, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto Looper. They'll see where they can heal it up. That's one good thing about Ezreal and Maokai. The Mystic shots will come out. And it looks like Aimee don't really care about the Baron. They just race down mid.
And Looper already back to full health. Aimee going to be able to take down an inner turret for themselves to try and pull some of that
They
gold
send
back.
Looper into the top lane.
But it's not going to be enough. Looper is going to go up to the top lane. Is going to be able to take down this inhibitor.
They
The rest
send
of
both of
Aimee
them.
are trying to go back to base. They will be able to get back to base in time. Nobody from the side of RNG is able to stop them. But that's two inhibitors that might fall for RNG. Just the one for now. A little bit of damage on the second.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Sorry it was a bottom lane. I get confused top and bottom. I'm Australian. But they send a double teleport, 2 members, into the bottom lane to be able to trade for the inhibitor. Heads up play one more time out of RNG. Gives them better positioning on this dragon as well. It's up in 20 seconds.
And this is really scary coming in for Aimee now because they're facing across from a full item 80 carry. An almost full item Looper missing one. This is mid laner and jungler also one item away from maximum build here. That's a lot of items from the RNG lineup. And a huge deficit I may have to fight back from. They really just need to hold on for another 15 minutes here. But the question is if they can do just that against RNG.
And once again, it's not Bamey. Bamey's absolutely fine. It's his team around him that is so far behind. Here we go.
Amazing J looking to try and start a fight here. Lots of damage being put down on towards Road, and Amazing J has to use the ultimate to separate the rest of the RNG lineup and force a disengage coming from the lineup. This might be that Elder Dragon will fall simply on over to RNG.
100%. I mean, there's just no way they can deal with Looper right now and too much damage, so they do have to cede it away. As you said, maybe 10 more minutes. Sure, Aimee will take that fight when they're all on full items, but right now that is not the case. So another objective falls over to RNG. You know, it's taken them 40 minutes, but never really has looked in doubt the whole way through.
And you can see the other side of Aimee. We talk about how, they need a little bit more time to catch up. Yes, they're up against a Baroned up Elder Dragon side of RNG, but they're not that far off of completing their builds as well. If they can do that, they have a chance to get into this game, but RNG have the potential to try and finish this one right now with that Elder Dragon when 4 Dragon buffs ticking on top of it. And the Baroned up minions pushing in towards Aimee side of the base.
Yeah, completely. That's all it is right now. I mean, they send Looper one more time to the other side of the map. See the burn coming through on multiple members of Aimee there. Looper's just going to continue to walk creeps in. The rest of the group can either try and break mid lane inhibitor or join the big tree. And this is just going to be a force. I mean, every flash is available on RNG's lineup.
And they're going to now waltz in towards the base of Aimee, looking to try and take down this inhibitor. It will fall rather quickly here. Aimee opting to not even defend their inhibitor.
But how much do you just not defend, Fish? I mean, they've already given away the Baron without a defense. They just push a mid lane turret. Then they give away the Elder Drake without a defense. Now they're ceding their base. I mean, you have to fight on this last turret because otherwise the game's over.
Aimee might have to do just that. They've picked up a couple of items here and there, so looking to try and outfight RNG with a 10,000 gold deficit. This is the final inhibitor turret for Aimee's base. RNG looking to try and siege this one out. LMXG already in the back, already inside Aimee's base. They're looking to try and flank the Aimee lineup as they desperately try to defend.
Ooh.
Not much damage being put down onto the turret, but that's lots of damage down towards the Avoiders just from one Mystic shot from Uzi. He's still trying to find more as Xiaohu goes in for an assassination attempt. There's a true shot barrage getting blocked out by Road, puts down the shield, tries to soak up as much damage as possible. Xiaohu now on the flanking duty. This turret is going to fall down. Looper now jumping atop of the base. Road really low here. Uzi able to poke them down. The turret is going to fall down. Amazing J trying to soak things up. Jinjiao has to flash away from Uzi. They're going to find the kill onto Amazing J and the inhibitor turret, and now they're going to look towards the Nexus.
Yeah, and one more time, they don't really fight there, and their Nexus turrets are under siege. One member down. I may eventually just has to pull the trigger, or they lose this game.
Well, let's see if they can, because the first Nexus turret's going to fall. Avoidless has been caught out, and Amalek Shi used the ultimate to keep himself alive. It's still a 3-on-5 fight, as the next Nexus turret is going to fall down. The 4 members of IMA desperately trying to do what they can. Looper will flash away from harm's way, but the Nexus is exposed. No matter what they can do here, RNG are still able to take down the Nexus.
And you know, Arme, they did try, maybe a little bit too late, because RNG had everything in their favor by that stage of the game. You see a little bit of a riot shake of the head. A pretty impressive performance at the end of the day from the young team. I mean, they took RNG to 40 minutes. But as I said, that RNG, you know, after those first 2 kills in the bottom lane, they just slowed the tempo of the game, said, let's wait for the young squad to make the mistake, and let's take it to them.
And it really felt like IMA, they had some strategy coming into this game. We saw the 2 early picks. We saw them put up a few scrappy fights as well. Voiles was trying to be very, very proactive inside invading into the jungle of RNG's side. But RNG, they executed that 1-3-1 flawlessly throughout the mid-game and just kept creeping up in terms of that gold lead.
Yeah, 100%. They used the 1-3-1 to get that deep vision. And then any time that IMA stepped out of position, they were just able to make them pay for it, you know, either with a pick or something like a Baron. And really, Xiaohu is continuing to grow as a mid laner. For someone that could only play pretty much Xerath Azir, he certainly has become a fantastic assassin player. I mean, he played it a lot in solo queue, but competitively speaking, I mean, because he had another standout game on LeBlanc.
In fact, this split of the LPL, Xiaohu has not played Azir yet. In fact, he's been playing a lot of Victor, Swain, a little bit of Vladimir here as well. This is his first game on LeBlanc, this split of the LPL. That's a good performance from him as well. Was able to pick people off. He played the strategy coming from RNG perfectly as well. But they didn't look all that done against RNG. They still put up good fights even towards the later part of the games. They were just trying to do what they can, just wasn't enough.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they started too much into a hole. They picked a 5v5 team fighting comp. Both teams did. And in the end, it was really the fact that RNG had the extra 10,000 gold that made the game so much easier for them to win. You know, you mentioned the Azir thing, the fact that Xiaohu hasn't played it yet. There's a reason, because every single time they don't first pick it on blue side, a team just first rotations it. I mean, no way were they going to let that go across. Still such a dominant control mage in the mid lane. So I really do think that, you know, he will play it when he gets his hands on it, and he is a very good Azir player.
Well, let's see if any team allows him to get his hands on that champion. But we're going to go into a very quick break. Don't go anywhere.